Israel will join the war if, like, Trump willing. Okay, so if Trump wants us to join the war, we will join the war. We have a bank of targets. We have things we'd like to get done. We're very eager to get it done. If we're not needed for now, we're comfortable chilling, as we are. The regime is getting weaker by the day, and we're not getting bombed. And that's nice, not getting bombed. But us getting bombed is not a deterrent factor for joining the strikes. There's a comment I want to respond to, but I probably maybe if I have time in a couple of minutes. And so Israel is eager, is ready, it's willing, it's able. So Israel will if it's allowed. The question is, does Trump want us to? I suspect that Trump will want us to join eventually. If it gets to that. I think if we get to like a 2 to 3 week actual proper bombing campaign, absolutely we'll join. Right now it's up to Trump mostly what happens. So that's basically it. And people have said as much. Let's see if I can find. Okay, so this is what I want to show. Israel is bracing for potential escalation in its conflict with Iran as military preparations and strategic assessments signal a readiness for the next phase. And then had another one. And Israel also, because of the recent escalation, has extended emergency home front status 2 more weeks. Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee approved the government's request to extend the special emergency status on the home front through July 28th, 2026. So basically, Israel is posturing. It's like, let's assume it's going to happen. And be prepared for it. So very much the willingness is there. The will is there. Okay, so a comment I wanted to respond to. Netanyahu doesn't want another toady in there. I thought the new head had no Modi'in background. So this is a comment that is basically indicative of what the anti-Netanyahu bloc, the way they view his decisions. Their claim that he put people in there that are close to him to do his bidding, essentially. So he put him there. He put Zini in the head of Shabak. Actually, and they are very different than the people who were there before. The problem with the people who were there before that they were explicitly not willing to do what the elected ranks wanted them to do, and that's a problem. You can't have a secret police that's not beholden to the government. It also has to be beholden to the law, but it needs to do what the government tells it to do. Otherwise, you have a police state. And in no way, no place other than Israel is that considered even remotely legitimate. And Zini also, like, there were leaks, there were partial leaks. I actually know people who were there listening into what he said, and then the other leaks came out that he said, like, the leader of the Shin Bet, again he's the leader of the Shin Bet, has to be to answer to the elected branch, and then he said whoever that might be, meaning not just this government but any government. And that's fundamentally true. That's a basic fact of democracy. It's also a basic fact of the law. The law explicitly says that the Shin Bet is beholden to the prime minister, or to the government rather. That doesn't mean he can do whatever the government says. It's beholden to the government and the law, or subject to the law. But it has to be beholden to the government. You can't have people undermining the political establishment's decisions because they think they know better, because they're the commanders. Commanders are there to do the bidding of the people whom the people chose. Otherwise, it's not democratic. And again, it has to be beholden to certain standards, and there have to be limits. But no one's saying otherwise. And there's a side that's pretending that people are saying otherwise. Okay, so Alex, back to the previous issue. Mossad disclosed top secret plot to Americans that known to leak everything. It doesn't make any sense. Mossad disclosed plans because they were in effect. The Americans knew about the plan because there was a joint Israeli-American plan to overthrow the regime, and Ahmadinejad was the person tapped for that. And so the Americans sort of have to know, if you're going to bomb Iran together, that hey, this guy's an asset, right? And like you have to share that. It's not necessarily for the purpose of getting leaked. It was leaked a while ago, and now again. Um, but that doesn't mean. I mean, that doesn't mean Mossad leaked it, and that doesn't make it not true. It could be not true. There are reasons. There are reasons I think it's not true. For example, they're saying that he is now under house arrest, Ahmadinejad, but he was seen in public several times over the last few weeks. But it could be because the RGC knows he's popular and they don't want to make a scene out of it because he's more popular than them in many respects. Um, so there are reasons to doubt it. I just don't think, oh, Mossad leaked it, so it must not be true is one of them, because I don't think Mossad leaked this. Motor Pool Grease Monkey is saying Trump loves savings almost as much as Israelis, and letting Israelis do what they do best would save us a lot of money. Yes, that is true. There was a comment by Monkey that I saw. Sarayu, so CIA, MI6, MI5, Mossad, they are beholden to the government? Yes. Yes. I mean, if they're not, that's a problem. And to the extent that they're not, that's a problem. But absolutely, they are beholden to the elected rank that tells them in general terms what to do. And you don't get into the details, but what are the goals? What are we pursuing? Why are we trying to do what we're trying to do? To the extent that that's not the case, that's a huge problem, democratically speaking. Okay. I saw there was a comment that I saw in the in this part by Monkey that I'm trying to find about whether how divisive Netanyahu is. And I can't find it now. Okay, there we go. Is Netanyahu a proto-Trump, polarizing yet so influential that being for or against him will define you on the right and everything else on the left, and everyone on the left hate him? Yes. Yes. Netanyahu actually, I think, did it before Trump. Just because, I mean, he's been prime minister since 2009, on and off. And actually, he was in the 90s. He was already prime minister once, but he became like this polarizing figure after 2009, after he rose to power and kept staying in power. So for a lot of people, and by the way, that's also like part of his branding, like his conscious branding, like I'm the right wing, people who are forming the right wing. And so when Lieberman left the government and went into the opposition, didn't want to join the government, and then we had rounds of elections. Again, I think I closed it. Yes, I closed it. Let's see if I can open it. Oh, okay, we don't have time. But Lieberman is like the right wing hawk who's secular, and so Netanyahu labeled him. Oh, he went to the left. He moved to the left. So that was actually a conscious effort made by Netanyahu at the time.